This is my 2004 2-litre Touran, and that battery light is flashing on and off. When you rev it, it does go off, but it's flashing. It will flash occasionally, and obviously something's going wrong. And I think the problem is that unit down there with a light on it, as you can see it. That one there, that's the tensioner, and I think that one's come to the end of its life because it's jumping up and down like a demented frog. What I'll do, I'll switch on the engine and you'll see what I mean. So I'm going to change that unit there, which is basically that, which is the tensioner. Okay, you'll see that there, it's got a pin in it, somewhere there, yeah, to keep the tension off it while you get the cam belt on, or the fan belt on, or whatever belt you call it. Okay, so what you're going to have to do is get an 18mm soft spanner, as you can see. That will go onto there, like so, and you have to load that up, pull that backwards, pull it down like that, okay, and put a new pin in there, otherwise you'll never get the bloody thing out. Alright, and obviously there's 2 bolts holding it on, 1, 2, and that's pre-loaded, so when you get it in there, you take a pin out and it comes off. Make sure you put the fan belt, drive belt, whatever you call it, on first, otherwise you won't get to it. Right, so that is in that position, is unloaded. Alright, so it's down on the belt. You never get it out like that. So you get your spanner, you pull that down there like that until that lines up, and then you put your pin in. Obviously I haven't got 3 hands, so I can't do that. And there's your pin back in again. Make sure you put something in there strong enough to hold the weight, because it's quite strong. This one's stronger than I thought. I thought it would be completely buggered, but it's not. Right, that's the new fan belt, or drive belt, whatever you want to bloody call it, and the new unit fitted. Right, it's a bit fiddly. The 2 bolts are a bit of a pain to get to. What I did was put the 2 bolts in and get it squared up, and then leave the top one out so that you can move this, give you a bit more room for when you put that on there, because them ribs on there are quite difficult to get on properly. So that's, just don't drop the bolts down the bottom like I've just dropped my ratchet in the engine bay. Right, so I'll put the other bolt in and I'll tighten it up now. Right, so to unload it, you put your 17 or 18mm spanner on it, and you push it down like that, so you can pull that pin out. So there's the pin out, it's unloaded and it's ready to go, hopefully. Make sure you tighten both bolts up. Don't drop your ratchet like I've just done. Managed to get it out, that's okay. So, quick road test, and annoyingly it turns out it's the alternator. So, fit in that bit, was sort of a waste of time, but then it's something new and a new fan belt, drive belt, whatever you want to call it. So it's up to the garage now to get the alternator looked at. Which is basically a fairly simple job to get out. It's just 2 bolts and a couple of wires, so that should be easy enough. Right, one new alternator from my local chap who rebuilds them. Apparently there's a clutch on here which I can feel now. Mine was C solid, and the bushes in the back were absolutely worn right out, screwed right up, so probably about time for a new one. Right in the middle of a thunderstorm here at the moment, so I shan't be putting that on for a minute. So, new alternator fitted, far less noise coming from the engine now, and it's charging. And the red flashing light has gone out, which is nice. And also I had an engine warning light come up, but I think that's probably because the battery was flat. So we shall see in a minute and give it a decent run. So as a conclusion to this, it turned out to be the alternator which was the problem, but I think putting the new fan belt or the drive belt and the tensioner on finally finished the alternator off, because it was charging a little bit, and then when I put all that lot on, it wasn't charging at all. So in theory you can say it's 2 jobs that needed doing, and it can't be bad. So as you can see, no lights, no management lights, no nothing. Rev counter's as steady as a rock, which it hasn't been because it hasn't been charging very well, obviously. So quite pleased with that. Another couple of jobs done.